Ike, Spike, and Fritz, mostly, we're back.
We're back.
How we doing, buddy?
Brother Spike, doing pretty good. Missed you. Was a long weekend. We needed it. Coming off of last week in the Super Bowl and that parade Friday. Definitely needed the extra day. Yeah. So shout out to you. And Cookie Rojas is back there behind the glass. Just as I'm just ready for this week with you to begin because I know that it won't be comfortable for you, Cookie Rojas. Holla at your boy.
What's up?
All right, there he is. Friends. Wait a minute. Where's Jack? Where's Fritz? I don't understand.
Well, he is a two-time father, like the Eagles are two-time champions.
Yeah.
Jack's a two-time father now.
But the other kid was weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we have another paternity leave week?
Right. He had to catch up on his week off because he sacrificed to come back for the Eagles' postseason run.
Oh, okay. So he sacrificed.
Yeah, he sacrificed.
Oh, okay. So Jack won't be with us this week, but don't worry. We will have the return of Honest Jack, and we'll have a check-in on his tweets because I told him, you take that week next week. It's fine. I better not see any tweets from you. No tweets, no podcast. So we are back. We've got a great show, as we always do. Tuesdays with Elliot is not just for Eagle season. Oh, no. Elliot Shore-Parks joins us at 3. Devin Caney, live from Clearwater, will join us at 4. And Fran gives his shot at the top 5 at 5 o'clock. We'll see how he does there. And Fran, are you with us anymore this week, or is it just
Thursday, too.
Okay, so we'll see if you can do it on Thursday based on your performance today. So, Ike, as we try to... It's interesting, like with the Super Bowl having just happened, we're sort of in this sort of like nowhere's land in that we're not quite ready to go all in on the Phillies. Lord knows we don't want to talk about the Sixers or the Flyers at this point, and it doesn't feel like we should jump on next Eagles season, but as soon as that season's over, the parade's done, we have to start looking toward it, right?
Yeah.
And Kellen Moore going to New Orleans to be the head coach. Now, it was announced today Kellen Moore has hired TJ Paganetti, who was the Eagles' run game specialist and offensive line assistant coach. One thinks there is a possibility they'll hire Doug Nussmeier to be the offensive coordinator. And I think if we hadn't won the Super Bowl, we would have been talking about this offensive coordinator thing a lot more. I understand this is not an easy decision, but this is an enormous hire, I think, for the Philadelphia Eagles. We did see what happened last time they lost an offensive coordinator, right? And the Eagles did not have a great offensive season in 2023. I think most notably, Jalen Hurts didn't have an awesome offensive season in 2023 with all those turnovers. And I think more than ever, it is important, after seeing what Hurts is capable of in those final 2 weeks, also knowing we're probably not going to get the same Saquon Barkley back, so we can't just run back the same stuff we've done, for the Eagles to look outside of the organization for their offensive coordinator and not just hire within. I know that Nick has risen to a place with winning a Super Bowl that he will probably want to make that call, and it seems obvious what he's want to do with that call, but I just look at this. This is an opportunity right here. And the Eagles have an opportunity to find one of the best and brightest and bring them into the organization and realize that the offense next year has to perform, I think, at a better clip than the offense did this year, which is why I think I still continue to think they have to go outside. They have to look at what's there, and they have to use this as an opportunity to make the organization stronger.
Yeah, I look at what they've done and what they have, and I say continue to build on what you've done. And I think that's what early signs are saying that Nick Sirianni sort of wants to do. He wants to continue to build on what they have, build from within, promote from within. Having these working relationships are important when you're talking about a culture that's conducive to winning and you want to have sustained success. And I do believe continuity is important to Jalen. And while I know he didn't give a, let's say, ringing endorsement for Kevin Patullo,
He did not.
He did not. But when does he ever give a ringing endorsement for anybody?
That is a fair,
right?
That's a fair point.
So I can't even hold that against him. He's just so locked in. Oh, he's down in. He's Jordan Mamba mentality now. You know what I mean? He's locked in on everything.
He's locked in on his job.
Yes, on his job. But in all seriousness, this is one of these situations where if the head coach wants to promote from on his staff to someone who he has full trust and confidence in, someone that he believes shares his vision of success. He talked about it, how any decisions he's made, he's run it past Kevin Patullo, and because that's how much he values his opinions on things. And that sounds like, to me, that's a ringing endorsement from within. And I think Nick Sirianni, after what he's gone through, what he's overcome, how he has continued to evolve and develop as a head coach, he's earned the right to name his next in charge as far as who he believes will be a good fit to run the offense. Now, if the organization decides, no, we want to go and do something different, then I would say this. You'd better be right, because not only are you showing a lack of confidence in the head coach and how he sort of sees this team being run, if Patullo is still on the staff, that's also another coach who you're showing a lack of confidence in. And I don't know if that's a great way to start off a repeat when you're trying to do what you just did. And so if this is what Nick Sirianni wants, I think Nick Sirianni has earned the right, whether it turns out to be wrong or not, he's earned the right. I didn't agree with Mike Grove being placed in there and Doug put him in there, but I thought Doug earned the right to do that. He earned that right. Now, when it doesn't work, you get that taken away from you. Things change. But I'd rather have that happen that way versus the other way around, and it doesn't work.
See, I disagree on the Sirianni thing, actually, because I have a lot of faith in him doing what he is doing now. And what I don't want to forget is we found out what he's good at. And I don't know that he is good at, like, you get to this position, you want to reward your guys. But I don't know that the best thing for offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, as they try to repeat as Super Bowl champs, is to reward your guys, right? I mean, I don't know that is what we should be doing. I think truthfully, what got us here is Howie Roseman going out and finding the best offensive coordinator available, going out and finding the best defensive coordinator available. We've learned through this time what maybe Nick's not good at, right? We learned maybe Nick's not great at calling plays, right? And maybe Nick's not great at hiring offensive coordinators either. I mean, they sort of failed the last time they promoted from within with this tenure. And I don't know that Nick's success as a head coach means that he gets all the power he wants in other avenues. They were successful, Howie going out and finding the best offensive coordinator they did. And I have a lot of respect for Nick Sirianni, but I still want Howie to go find the best offensive coordinator there is. That is, to me, what got us into this position, and it's what will get us into the same position again.
See, this is where I would disagree there. What got us into this position is Nick Sirianni having the trust and the vision that some of his players had coming to him, and then having the ability to change courses 1/4 of the way through the season, something he had done in his rookie season. Even though Shane Steichen was calling the plays, they still changed their offense to a run-based offense, to where that was the primary direction they wanted to go in. Run first, pass second. They were able to do that this year. And that hasn't been what Kellen Moore was successful at doing in years past. So I would even dare to say this, because I think it was Shady who brought this up at some point during the season, that he had firsthand knowledge that Nick Sirianni has a greater hand in the offense than a lot of people believe.
I remember that, yeah.
Right? So, and that being said, what the offense eventually turned into, how much of that credit really does go to Nick Sirianni? Right? Kellen Moore may have been calling plays or what have you, but the design of the offense and what would work this is something Kellen Moore had never done before with an offense, whereas Nick had been in a run-based offense. So I'm not so sure that we aren't giving Nick Sirianni, from a play design and a philosophy, more credit or enough credit We aren't giving him the amount of credit that we should be giving him. We act as if Kellen Moore was the genius behind all of this, and he's the reason the offense was what it was. If anything, shout out to Kellen Moore. Appreciate the Super Bowl. They had the worst passing offense in the league. I'm not saying it was Kellen Moore's fault.
Right.
What I'm saying is the genius of Kellen Moore didn't make the passing game any greater. The running offense is what made the offense what it was, and that was Nick Sirianni's decision to do that.
Yeah, that leans into, I think that the passing game needs to be greater, right? And I think the best case for doing that is just keep looking until you find the guy. 215-592-9494. Should Nick Sirianni be able to hire from within for offensive coordinator, or should they look outside the organization?